Impression taking is one of the most important part of prosthodontics. Welcome to Dental and Ayurveda, a channel for basic dental and basic Ayurvedic sciences. And our one such topic for today is alginate, which is an impression material. Before proceeding, I would like to thank you all for your support and इस टॉपिक के रेडी टू रीड नोट्स अवेलेबल है हमारे इंस्टाग्राम पेज पे जिसका लिंक गिवन है डिस्क्रिप्शन बॉक्स में.
Alginate. So it is a irreversible hydrocolloid and it is most widely used impression material. It is of two types, type 1 and type 2. So type 1 is fast setting and type 2 is normal setting. Then it can be supplied in a form of powder that is packed. It can be packed in tins or any sachet. Then in pre-weighed packets for individual impression. Then it is also supplied as a plastic scoop for dispensing the bulk powder, and a plastic cylinder is supplied for measuring the water. Applications in applications it is used for impression making, so it can be very useful for undercuts. When there are undercuts, there it can be applied. It can be applied in mouths with excessive flow of saliva, and for partial dentures also we can use it with clasps, and for making preliminary impressions for complete dentures. Then for impression to make to make study models and working casts also we can use it, and for duplicating the models. Then what all ingredients or composition of alginate? So it has sodium or potassium uh, tetraethanolamine alginate, then which is 15% by weight, and its function is to dissolve in water and react with calcium ions, and calcium sulfate is also present, which is 16%. There's zinc oxide, which is going to act as a filler, then potassium titanium fluoride, which is a gypsum hardener, diatomaceous earth, again filler, and sodium phosphate and coloring and flavoring agents are used. This sodium phosphate, this is going to act as a retarder. Then we talk about the setting reaction. So in setting reaction you can see that initially the sodium phosphate it reacts with the calcium sulfate to provide enough working time. Then after sodium phosphate is used up, the remaining calcium sulfate reacts with sodium alginate to form insoluble calcium alginate, which forms a gel with water. So what all properties alginate has? So basically taste and odor. So it has a very pleasant taste and smell. Flavors include strawberry, orange, mint, vanilla, and etc. Then flexibility, it is about 14%, and some of the hard set materials have lower values also. Then when I talk about elasticity and elastic recovery, so alginate hydrocolloids, they are highly elastic but less as compared to agar. If I compare it with agar, it is less, but otherwise they are very highly elastic, and elastic recovery is about 98.2%. Now this permanent deformation, more for alginate. This is for more for alginate. Then production of detail is lower when compared to agar. Then strength, compressive strength जो है इसकी, it will be 0.5 to 0.9 megapascal, and then tear strength is also an important property for alginates. Then I talk about synersis and imbibition. So basically when we are going to place alginate in water, when it is placed in contact with water, it will absorb all the water and swell. Continued immersion in water results in total disintegration of the alginate. So it cannot be immersed in water for a very long time. Then set alginates, they have very poor dimensional stability due to evaporation, synersis and imbibition. Now so the cast, it should be poured very immediately. Then when I talk about adhesion, so alginate, they do not adhere well to the tray. When we are taking the tray, it is not going to adhere well to it. Shelf life, the material should be stored in a very cool and dry place, not above 37 degrees Celsius. Then we talk about the manipulation. So here you can see, we are going to mix it very properly when it becomes smooth and creamy with minimum number of voids. Then you can see that mixing time for this will be, for fast set alginate it will be 45 seconds, and for normal set alginate it will be 60 seconds. So you can see that to reduce the voids we are going to mix it very properly. Then working time, when I talk about, for fast set alginate it will be 1 minute or more, and normal set alginate it will be 2 minutes. Then we have setting time. So setting time for type 1 will be 1.5 to 2 minutes, and type 2 it will be a normal set, so 3 to 4.5 minutes. Now what type of tray should we select for alginates? So tray selection may, since the alginate it has a very poor adhesion, so it should be properly selected. The tray selection is very important. Like tray with rim lock and perforations, as you can see in the picture, there are perforations in the tray. This tray is recommended for alginates. How to load the tray? Like mixed alginate, you're going to press and swipe into the perforated rim lock tray so that the material is forced into through the holes. वैसे वो material excess जो भी होगा वो बाहर भी निकलेगा, and thereby it will lock itself mechanically into the tray. Then you can see, although this chromatic alginates जो होते हैं कलर भी चेंज करते हैं after setting, so it is a very best to test for the set of prodding the material at the periphery with a blunt instrument. Here you can see the pictures that alginate when it is adhered to the tray. Now this seal, it should be very it should be freed from the running finger round the periphery, and in addition to the holding the tray, the tray handles, when you are holding, additional displacing force may be applied with the finger on buccal flange of the set material and tray. Now impression जो है हमें उसे बहुत जल्दी we have to remove it as quickly as possible. Then storage, alginate impressions जो होते हैं, they must be poured as soon as possible. So to store the impression, you are going to wrap the impression lightly with a moist paper towel, and you can cover it with a rubber bowl, or keep the impression in a sealed plastic bag. Then what all advantages we have for alginate? Very easy. It is very easy to mix and manipulate. Then you don't require many equipments for this, so it requires very less equipments. Then flexibility of the set impression is good. Then low cost, it is very cost effective, and it is hygienic also. As always, you're going to use, every time you're going to use fresh material for each impression. Then it gives a very good surface detail. Production of details is very good for alginates even in the presence of saliva. Then disadvantages, poor dimensional stability है, आप बार बार उसको सही नहीं कर सकते, it cannot be corrected also. Then it cannot be electroplated, so metal dyes are not possible. Then you can see distortion. इसमें distortion may occur without it being very obvious if the material is not held steady while it is setting. मतलब जब आप उसको सेट कर रहे हो मटेरियल को, अगर वो स्टेडी होल्ड नहीं किया है तो डिस्टॉर्शन भी हो सकता है, एंड पुअर टियर स्ट्रेंथ इज आल्सो देयर.
Thank you for watching. Do like, share and subscribe. Also let us know in the comment box कि ऐसे और कौन से टॉपिक्स हैं जिन पे हम आपके लिए वीडियो बना सकते हैं.